Beloved soul, stop everything for a breath. The atmosphere around you has been heavy today, hasn't it? That strange pull on your spirit, that quiet trembling in your chest. It wasn't fear. It wasn't imagination. It was heaven signaling you, urging you toward this exact moment. Because, chosen one, what you did today, the small obedience, the quiet yes, the decision you almost overlooked, released a rapid blessing that even the angels did not expect to drop this quickly. Listen closely. God can't wait any longer. Something in the unseen has accelerated. A divine countdown has begun over your life, and the Father is whispering, "Get ready for a jackpot surprise." You felt the shift before you understood it. You noticed the air change around you. You woke up with a weight you couldn't name and a hope you were almost afraid to believe in. That is not random. That is the signature of a breakthrough season. Chosen one, heaven has been watching the quiet battles you never spoke aloud. The nights you cried in the bathroom so no one would hear you. The mornings you gathered yourself, pretending to be strong when your heart was cracking. And today, without even realizing it, you stepped into destiny alignment. God said, "Enough delay." He is moving now, swiftly, fiercely, with precision. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth." And beloved, it is springing forth for you in this very hour. Not next month, not someday, now. But before I reveal the deeper truth of what was released, before I tell you why heaven rushed to your side today, chosen one, answer me with your spirit. You felt that shift, didn't you? If this message is already stirring something inside you, pause and subscribe. Not for me, but so you never miss another word heaven sends to prepare you for what is coming next. Because that shift you felt was not an emotion. It was a rupture in the spirit, a tear in the veil that exposed something heaven had been trying to show you for years. And chosen one, hear me. The blessing that was released today did not fall quietly. It collided with the chains that have wrapped around your life for far too long, and when it hit, every hidden wound inside you began to surface. You know exactly what I mean. That tightening in your chest when the house grows silent. That moment late at night when your thoughts turn against you. That fear that whispers, "What if nothing ever changes?" You've carried that for so long that it started to feel like part of your personality. But it isn't. It is spiritual warfare disguised as exhaustion. It is destiny delay hiding beneath the mask of being patient. It is financial blockage camouflaged as bad timing. You've been fighting enemies you couldn't name, battles you didn't choose, and storms you didn't start. Listen to me. Someone taught you to hold your pain in your teeth and smile anyway. Someone trained you to survive silence instead of seeking healing. And because of that, you learned to hide your breaking points. You learned to carry your wounds like they were secrets, like they were shameful, like they were proof that you were failing. But they weren't. They were signs that your spirit was under targeting. Not because you were weak, but because your future carries weight. Chosen one, heaven saw every moment you curled up in the shower so the water would hide your tears. Heaven saw you replaying conversations long after everyone else forgot them. Heaven saw the nights you begged God to just give you one sign, one hint that he hadn't abandoned you in this wilderness of delay. And still, you woke up each morning, pushing through the heaviness, not knowing that the heaviness was evidence of the calling on your life. But there's something deeper, something you never say out loud. You fear that blessings pass you by. You fear that God skips over you. You fear that every time you get close to breakthrough timing, something swoops in and steals it. And you've wondered if maybe, just maybe, you're the problem. But beloved soul, the problem was never you. The problem was the warfare surrounding what you carry. The resistance wasn't random. The opposition wasn't accidental. The delay wasn't natural. What followed you was a pattern, a cycle, a spiritual interference that tried to choke your abundance before it could grow. And today, when you made that small choice, that tiny act of obedience, that whisper of faith, it cracked the cycle open. It shook something in the unseen. It disrupted the barricade that stood between you and a long-promised divine reversal. But before I reveal what that reversal truly means, you need to understand why your life has been marked with so much contradiction, why your heart can feel so full one moment and so bruised the next, why people you trust the most are often the ones who tear at your confidence, why every time you step toward abundance, some invisible hand seems to pull you back, why the blessing that was released today caused the atmosphere around you to tremble. Because, chosen one, the real reason is older, heavier, and far more sacred than you think. It reaches into the deepest layer of your calling, the part of you that even you have forgotten, and it all begins with the moment heaven realized that you were finally ready to see what has been hiding behind your delays, your heartbreak, and it all begins with the moment heaven realized that you were finally ready to see what has been hiding behind your delays, your heartbreak, and because, chosen one, this next part is the one you've never said out loud. You've carried black sheep pain for years. You felt misplaced in rooms that were supposed to feel like home. You learned to shrink your light so the people who claimed to love you wouldn't feel threatened. You learned to silence your ideas because every time you spoke truth, someone rolled their eyes or accused you of overreacting. You learned to swallow your brilliance, your intuition, your discernment, because somehow you became the one everyone blamed when things went wrong. You didn't choose that role. It was cast onto you. And every time you tried to evolve, someone close pulled on your ankle and said, "Don't forget who you are." But what they meant was, "Don't outgrow me." The enemy wasn't after your relationships. He was after your destiny alignment, your confidence, your voice, your identity. This is why the warfare around your life felt personal. It was personal. A generational curse tried to recycle itself through you, hoping you'd finally break under the pressure of being too different. And beloved soul, deep down, you wondered, why am I always the outsider, even in my own family? Why am I the one they misunderstand the most? Why is my compassion treated like a weakness and my clarity treated like rebellion? You've carried these questions like stones in your chest. You've cried after family gatherings. You've apologized for things you didn't do just to keep the peace. You've begged God to show you why you were born into a lineage that never seemed to understand the weight of your spirit. Chosen one, pause here for a moment. If any part of this feels like your real story, if your heart is responding right now, comment, "I am no longer the scapegoat," as a spiritual contract. Let heaven see your agreement. Because what you've lived through was not rejection. It was separation for elevation. But your struggle didn't end in your childhood, your home, or your relationships. It began spilling into your inner world, into your nights, into the one place you thought no one could touch, your mind. And that leads us into the second layer, a reality you've tried to ignore. Midnight warfare. Because, chosen one, it didn't stop at feeling isolated. Your nights betrayed you too. You woke up at 2:53 a.m. for no reason. Your heart pounding, your thoughts racing, your room feeling heavier than the dark itself. You weren't imagining it. This was spiritual warfare, concentrated at the hours when your subconscious is most open and your spirit is most alert. There were nights when you jolted awake as if someone called your name. Nights when you saw shadows move in the corner of your eye, but convinced yourself it was nothing. Nights when your sleep grew shallow, your breathing tightened, and your dreams carried warnings you didn't yet understand. And the worst part? Right before every major blessing, right before every shift in breakthrough timing, right before every elevation, the attacks intensified. Your thoughts grew louder, your fears felt sharper, your dreams turned into battlegrounds. This wasn't random, this wasn't coincidence, this wasn't just anxiety. This was the enemy launching interference to block the rapid blessing that was released over your life today. This was an attempt to keep you exhausted so you wouldn't recognize divine intervention when it finally arrived. This was a spiritual assignment designed to pull you backward, just as heaven was pulling you forward. But chosen one, the real reason this warfare increased, the true reason your nights became battlegrounds, the deeper truth heaven wants you to see, is that the blessing released today triggered something in the unseen, something so fierce that even the enemy trembled, because what's coming toward you next is so monumental, so accelerated, so unlike anything you've ever carried, that your spirit has already begun to stretch, as if preparing to carry something heavier, holier, and far more explosive than anything you've ever stepped into before. Because chosen one, what's rising in you now is connected to a struggle you rarely admit, even to yourself. Theme 1. The imposter shadow. You've achieved things others only dream about, yet a voice still whispers, "You just got lucky. Don't get too confident. Someone better will replace you. God chose the wrong person." You know that voice. It slips in when you're alone. It coils around your confidence at the exact moment you're about to rise. It tells you to shrink. It tells you to dim your brilliance. It tells you not to dream too loudly. And no one knows how deeply it cuts. People think you're strong, unshakable, always composed. They don't see the nights you lie awake staring at the ceiling, replaying every mistake you've ever made. They don't hear the internal monologue that bleeds through your thoughts. What if I'm not enough? What if I mess this up? What if I can't handle the blessing when it comes? Your chest tightens. Your stomach drops. Your breath grows shallow. Not because you're weak, but because the spiritual warfare around your identity has been relentless. You've always carried greatness, but greatness attracts distortion. The enemy couldn't take your calling, so he tried to poison how you see yourself, hoping you'd self-destruct before stepping into divine intervention. And beloved soul, if this part of the message is piercing your heart right now, breathe and type, "I reject the imposter lie," in the comments. Let it be a declaration, a spiritual strike against every false voice that has ever tried to bury your destiny alignment. Because what comes next will explain why that lie has followed you for years. The bridge. And it wasn't just your confidence under attack. When the enemy couldn't break your identity, he targeted your environment, creating pressure so intense that your spirit began to shut down. Theme 2. The spirit of heaviness. You've felt it, haven't you? That sudden weight on your chest. That fog in your mind. That sadness you can't explain. That feeling of being drained before the day even begins. It hits you in quiet moments. It steals your appetite. It makes your limbs feel heavy, like you're walking underwater. It tricks you into believing you're failing when, in reality, you were experiencing the backlash of a blessing approaching too fast for the enemy to intercept. The spirit of heaviness doesn't show up when nothing is happening. It shows up right before breakthrough timing, right before divine reversal, right before heaven releases exactly what was triggered by your obedience today. Think about the days you woke up already tired. Think about the afternoons when your energy collapsed without warning. Think about the sudden urge to give up, the overwhelming pressure to retreat, the feeling that life had become too heavy to hold. You weren't just fatigued, you were under spiritual compression. force designed to suffocate your momentum, to confuse your vision, to block your abundance and trigger financial blockage, to make you question promises God already sealed. But chosen one, this heaviness wasn't proof that you were falling behind. It was evidence that something massive was drawing near. It was the friction of heaven rubbing against the resistance around your life. It was the atmosphere shaking under the weight of what you were about to receive. And now, because of what you did today, because of the decision you didn't even realize was prophetic, something in the unseen has begun to crack open, which is why your spirit feels like it's standing on the edge of an invisible cliff, one step away from a revelation that will explain why your entire life has been preparing you for a level of blessing that looks nothing like where you've been living. And this is where it gets painfully real, because while your spirit has been stretching, your money has been suffocating. You know that financial stranglehold I'm talking about. You get a little ahead, and then something breaks. You save a small cushion, and then an emergency appears out of nowhere. You finally feel stable. Then a bill, a crisis, a demand you never saw coming wipes it all out. Make 10, lose 11, over and over again. You've watched your account flip from hopeful to empty in a matter of days. You've stood in front of ATMs, staring at numbers that made your stomach sink. You've added up receipts at the kitchen table with your head in your hands, wondering, how is this even possible? I'm working. I'm trying. Why does it never stick? That's not just mismanagement. That's not just life. That's spiritual warfare wrapped around your resources. The enemy knew you were born with a wealth mindset buried inside you. He knew you carried the blueprint for generational wealth, or overflow that would feed not just your household, but your bloodline. So he tried to make you allergic to money by connecting it to shame, fear, and constant loss. Bills arriving early, paychecks arriving late, random fees, hidden charges, unexpected repairs. And every time it happened, a voice rose up in your mind. See, you're cursed. You'll never be financially stable. God blesses other people, not you. You didn't just feel broke, you felt marked. Marked by delay, marked by lack, marked by a story that said, people like you don't get ahead. But, beloved, what you didn't know is that this financial blockage didn't start with you. It ran through your lineage like a dark river. You've seen it in your parents, your grandparents, in relatives who worked themselves into the ground and still died tired and empty-handed. You were born into a generational pattern that said, survive but never own, work but never rest. A generational curse that fed off exhaustion, insecurity, and fear of risk. And yet, even with all of that, here you are still dreaming of abundance, still craving financial stability, still sensing that money is meant to serve your divine purpose, not torment your soul. You've had moments where you could almost taste freedom. You've pictured paying things off. You've imagined blessing others without checking your balance first. You've seen yourself walking in a level of elevation that would shift your entire family's story. You're not crazy. That was heaven showing you a preview. If your heart is burning as I speak, if you see your own story in every loss and every almost breakthrough, I want you, right here, to write, I break the poverty pattern in the comments. This is not just a phrase, it is a prophetic strike against every cycle that told you wealth was never meant to sit in your hands. Because as much as the enemy has tried to squeeze your resources, there is another pattern he's been using, one that feels even more cruel. The feeling of almost, the feeling of being right at the door, and watching it close in your face. You know this one too well. You apply for the job. You get the interview. They say, you're perfect for this role. You feel peace. You pray. You prepare. Then, at the last minute, the email comes. We went in a different direction. You talk to the landlord. You find the apartment. You can picture yourself cooking in that kitchen. You start planning where the furniture will go. Then suddenly, someone applied before you. The owner chose them. You meet someone who says all the right words. They see your value. They speak your language. You start to breathe again, thinking, maybe this is finally my person, my partner, my support. Then, they pull away, or betray you, or choose someone else. The near-miss pattern. The promotion that gets postponed. The loan that gets reviewed and then quietly denied. The opportunity that evaporates in the last round. Every single time. Right at the threshold. So now your nervous system flinches when blessings come close. Your body remembers disappointment. Your heart gets ready to lose what it hasn't even received yet. You watch emails come in with a knot in your stomach. You see unknown numbers on your phone, and your first thought is, what went wrong now? You hear the phrase, we'll get back to you, and something inside you whispers, no, you won't. And yet, even with all these near misses, you haven't stopped hoping. You haven't stopped trying. You haven't stopped believing, even if that belief feels fragile and thin. Chosen one, hear me. The near-miss pattern is not proof that God forgot you. It is proof that the enemy has been terrified of what will happen the day something actually sticks in your hands. The day income doesn't just pass through you, but multiplies. The day opportunities don't just visit, they stay. The day your breakthrough season actually begins and your life becomes living evidence of divine reversal and destiny alignment. That is what today's decision triggered in the spirit. Because when you obeyed that quiet nudge, when you did the thing that looked small but cost you pride, comfort, or fear, God said, now, this is the moment. Release the rapid blessing. No more, almost. And yet, before you can even receive what is flying toward you, heaven needs you to see one more layer, one more reason why the warfare has been so fierce, why your heart has carried so much weight, why every area of your life seems to sit on the edge of change without fully crossing over. Because hidden inside all of this is the real reason God can't wait any longer. The reason He is rushing this jackpot surprise into your hands. The reason your lineage, your assignment, and even your children's children are going to feel the impact of what was unleashed over your life today. And it all becomes clear when you finally recognize that every battle, every delay, every loss has been shaping you for something far heavier than survival. It has been shaping you for inheritance. Because, chosen one, the next layer of the struggle reaches deep into something you rarely voice, something that sits in your bones like an ancient echo. You've always felt it, haven't you? That silent pressure, that invisible responsibility, that sense that if you don't change, nothing in your family ever will. You didn't ask for this role. You didn't apply for it. It was handed to you the moment you were born different. Different dreams, different sensitivity, different vision, different pain tolerance, different spiritual awareness. While others around you lived on autopilot, you felt every shift, every spiritual disturbance, every moment of divine intervention pressing against the edges of your soul. And deep inside, you've always known, if I stop fighting, everything collapses. You've carried the emotional debris of generations, the financial trauma of those who came before you, the unspoken grief your parents never processed, the fears your grandparents normalized, the silence your lineage learned to swallow. You've spent years cleaning up pain that wasn't even yours. You've been breaking curses you didn't create. You've been bleeding for battles your ancestors lost, chosen one. You've been exhausted not because you're weak, but because you've been lifting what multiple generations refuse to confront. And the weight is real. Your back tightens at night. Your shoulders ache. You clench your jaw without noticing. Your heartbeat quickens for no reason, as if your body is carrying memories it never lived. You've woken up feeling drained before the day even starts, because you're carrying both your destiny and the dead weight of your bloodline. But here's the deeper truth. Your family wasn't cursed. Your family was waiting for you. If this resonates in the deepest part of your spirit, if you know you've been chosen to reroute your entire lineage, type "The cycle ends with me" in the comments. Let heaven see your agreement. Because being the cycle breaker comes with another kind of warfare, one that attacks your mind where you are most vulnerable. And the pressure didn't just fall on your shoulders. It seeped into your thoughts, into your confidence, into your identity, pushing you into a silent internal war that few would ever notice. You know that moment. The moment right before something big is about to happen. You feel excitement and terror in the exact same breath. Your hands grow cold, your stomach tightens, your thoughts start racing, flooding you with every failure you've ever experienced. It's the fear that rises when you're about to cross into the next level. A fear that whispers, "What if it falls apart again? What if I'm not ready? What if I lose everything?" And the closer the breakthrough gets, the louder the fear becomes. You start hesitating on phone calls. You procrastinate on opportunities. You second-guess decisions you already prayed about. You suddenly become unsure of steps that were clear just yesterday. It's like your spirit is running toward destiny, but your trauma is pulling the emergency brake. This paralysis doesn't come when nothing is happening. It comes at the threshold, at the doorway of breakthrough timing, at the very edge of the blessing God is releasing. And every time you felt paralyzed, you blamed yourself. You thought you were lazy, unmotivated, unprepared, but chosen one. You weren't afraid of failure. You were afraid of finally winning, because you've lost so much, because betrayal hit so deep, because delay has lasted so long. Your nervous system doesn't trust good things anymore. So, when a real blessing begins to approach, like the rapid blessing God released today, your body freaks out, thinking danger is near. Not because you're broken, but because your past has taught you that breakthroughs don't last. And now, heaven is whispering that the only thing standing between you and the blessing rushing toward you is that spiritual paralysis tightening around your chest each time you get close to elevation. But beloved, something else is happening too. Something you haven't noticed yet. A shift so sacred, so quiet, so divinely engineered, that even your fear cannot stop what's coming. Because the blessing God released today is not waiting for your confidence. It is waiting for your awareness. And once you understand the next layer, why the pressure increased, why the attacks intensified, why everything in your life feels like it's leading to one monumental moment, you'll realize that heaven was never punishing you. Heaven was positioning you. Because, chosen one, here is the truth your soul has been aching to hear. Everything you survived was training, not ordinary training, not casual preparation, but the kind of elite, handcrafted, heaven-certified refining reserved only for warriors who will carry much in the kingdom. Think about it. The loneliness? It wasn't abandonment. It was God separating you from voices that would have contaminated your elevation. The financial strain? It wasn't failure. It was spiritual resistance trying to block the wealth mindset and generational abundance waiting to flow through your hands. The betrayal? It wasn't rejection. It was revelation, God showing you who couldn't come into your next chapter. The exhaustion? It wasn't weakness. It was the pressure of spiritual warfare increasing because heaven was preparing to break a generational curse through you. The endless delays, the near misses, the closed doors, the cycles repeating until your heart felt numb. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. None of it disqualified you. You were being forged. You were being sharpened. You were being calibrated for the kind of destiny alignment that only emerges from fire. Beloved soul, hear this with your spirit. You were not being punished. You were being promoted. Every tear taught you discernment. Every setback built capacity. Every disappointment shaped your spiritual muscles. Every heartbreak stretched your ability to carry divine intervention without collapsing. This is why the blessing coming to you now is rapid. This is why God can't wait any longer. This is why the jackpot surprise is already in motion, because you have endured what would have destroyed the average soul. And heaven says, now they are ready. If you feel this truth striking your chest, if something inside you whispers, this is mine, then, beloved, subscribe and like this message right now as a prophetic act. Tap that button if you believe God is preparing to restore to you double everything you lost, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Because the moment you do, something in the spirit realm witnesses your agreement. Now that we have reached the peak of this battle, now that the truth has settled deep into the cracks of your soul, heaven releases this final declaration. You have endured enough. And now God says, it is time to strike back. He has given me the most precise and divinely revealed strategies. The framework, the blueprint, the spiritual weapons, the pathway, the set of instructions that will help you overturn this battle starting tonight. And the first of these is already rising in your spirit even before the words form in your ears, because heaven is revealing what you must do next with a clarity you have been craving for years. Strategy 1. The protocol of immediate obedience. Chosen one, listen with every part of you. When God releases a rapid blessing, the enemy's first tactic is to create hesitation, doubt, second-guessing, overthinking. You've felt this paralysis before, those moments when your spirit nudged you, but your mind said, not yet, no more. From this moment forward, when the Holy Spirit presses a direction into your chest, even if it's quiet, even if it's inconvenient, even if it stretches you, you act immediately. Do not wait for confirmation from people who cannot see the mantle on your life. Do not delay divine alignment by seeking validation from those unassigned to your destiny. Your obedience is the ignition key for destiny acceleration. Heaven is saying, when I move, you move. This means responding to spiritual warfare with prayer the moment you feel the shift. It means honoring a financial breakthrough nudge the moment it comes into your thoughts. It means releasing a habit, a person, or a fear as soon as God highlights it. Quick obedience is quick deliverance. If hesitation has been your enemy, immediate obedience becomes your weapon. The shield of atmosphere mastery. You cannot walk into breakthrough carrying the atmosphere of your past. Your environment must reflect where God is taking you, not where the enemy tried to keep you. This means you must take spiritual authority over the space around you. Every morning and every night, speak aloud, yes, aloud into your environment. No heaviness lives here. No confusion stands here. No generational curse claims this ground. Your words recalibrate the spiritual frequency of your home. And chosen one, cleanse your atmosphere physically as well. Remove items that carry memories of betrayal or seasons of warfare. Open windows. Light moves. Sound shifts. Energy resets. When you shift your environment, you shift your spiritual vibration.